Hey guys, this is CardinalBird5, and today I have another player review for you, and we're going to be talking about the Flashback legend Eddie Murray for the Baltimore Orioles. So first, to obtain this card, you have to play Conquest and conquer the Orioles, as you see right here, capture the Orioles stronghold. Next, you'll have to rack up innings, and by doing so, you will unlock the rookie Manny Machado. And then next, you have to embody the Orioles by feeding them to your dynasty players, and you eventually do get the 93 overall Eddie Murray. Let's take a look at some stats and his player card. Now, I've been using Eddie Murray a lot, probably more so than most people. I think I was actually the first one to unlock him. Reason being, I had a feeling that he might be the hidden player for Baltimore, and I really wanted a switch hitter first baseman. So this is what you get with Eddie Murray, is these attributes. Now, keep in mind, the first thing you probably notice is that his hitting isn't like spectacular out of the roof or anything, but it is very solid in my opinion. If we look at contact and power versus righties, 82-81, that's very solid. You can't complain about that. If you have anybody in the 80s in hitting, that means he's supposed to be a 300 hitter and hitting 30 home runs a year. Now against lefties, he's not quite as good, but he's 77 contact and 74 power versus lefties, so it's still pretty good. It's not like he's weak against lefties. I'd say anything 70 or higher to me is considered good, or even great really. 60s is doable. But we look at his plate vision. This is kind of another underrated aspect of Eddie Murray. He has 90 plate vision. Just a great plate vision, makes his PCI a little bit bigger, and he does have good plate discipline too, so those check swings should be a bit easier with Eddie Murray. Now we're going to look at some other things that I think separate him from other first basemen, and that is his fielding and speed. Just first glance, you're probably not blown away by it, but if you look at the average attributes for first baseman, when you're looking at when we're talking about fielding, speed, reaction, most first basemen, I can show you, I don't know, Ryan Howard. Ryan Howard isn't too bad, but I don't know, Chris Carter, just showing you guys a few. Most first basemen, their fielding is not going to be that good. It's going to be like in the 60s, even lower. So 75 fielding, I think, is really solid overall. 74 reaction. Not too worried about the arm strength over at first base, even though he can't help, but it's not bad. I'd say it's average. And he does have 50 speed for a first baseman, which I think is well above average. Compared to most first basemen, they're like in the 20s, 30s, 40s maybe. So he is above average in all of these, and I think kind of makes him more of a complete first baseman. Now, he does throw right-handed, and of course the big thing about Eddie Murray is he is a switch hitter. And if you also want to look at his hot zones, not that they do a whole lot, but they're all red. And just to get this out of the way, I do believe hot zones have an impact on the game, and I do plan to do a video later on this, but I think it's very, very minor. But it's always nice to have all those hot zones. So look at some stats, or my stats of Eddie Murray. 73 games, I have 24 home runs with him, 49 RBIs, I've drawn 10 walks with him. Let's see here, 348 average. That's really crazy. I'm 348 versus lefties and righties. I wonder if that's actually correct. Hit a lot better on the road. That's really weird. I got an 894 slugging, 386 on base, 1280 OPS. Let's see how many times I've struck out with him. That can't be right. I've only struck out 3 times with Eddie Murray. Okay. Well, there you go. I've only struck out 3 times with Eddie Murray out of 161 ABs. So that's that plate vision coming into play there, as well as his contact and ability, or the fact that he's a switch hitter. You're never going to see breaking balls breaking away. They're going to be breaking in, so it's a little bit easier to read them and get the bat on them. So those are his stats, and Eddie Murray has been kind of one of my favorite players in the game. I'm not currently using him since I am testing Prince Fielder, but I will have some tips and take him to the cage, show you a few things as well, so stand by for that. Hey guys, what's going on? So we're back and we're doing some BP with Eddie Murray. So he's actually not on the default rosters for the Legends, so I actually had to download an older roster, 1987. So I am facing, so these are actually from Operation Sports. But they're same exact attributes. You got his stance, everything's pretty much the same. So if you guys are wondering how to do that, I downloaded those 1987 OS FM rosters. So here we go, we're going to do bat control. We're actually facing Jack Morris. He's a little bit different from Sony's, but or from the default rosters in the game, but looks pretty similar. Anyways, so we're talking about Eddie Murray here and some things that I like to do. This is kind of an all-around player. It really depends on how you want to hit with him. but the fact he's a switch hitter, it makes him very versatile just to begin with. But when we're facing righties, something I do like to do with him, his PCI is actually a little bit bigger than most players. So this is one player I do like to power swing with, and I'll talk about that and give you guys a few different reasons why. So I've already mentioned that his PCI is a little bigger, the 90 plate vision, and he has 82 contact versus righties. So that makes your PCI a little bit bigger. So to me, that allows you to power swing a little bit easier since your PCI won't be as small in power swinging. Secondly, I feel like he's got enough power to get home runs with the X swing, but I feel like with a power swing, since he's in the 80s, 70s range, and he already has a bigger PCI, if you can square up a pitch with a power swing, I feel like it even helps your chances that much more. I mean, obviously it does. So this is a player I would recommend trying the power swing with. And when you're doing that, he does have power to all fields. I just hit that out right there. And that was actually up and in. That was really weird. But he does have power to all fields, so I would recommend power swinging with him a little bit earlier in the count. He does have pretty good power. He's also a guy, though, that you can go the other way, stay on top of the ball, and get grounders up the middle, or just like that, line drives up the middle. So what I recommend is kind of treat this guy like a traditional, not like a Mark McGwire power hitter, but a traditional 30 home run guy, where if you get a 2-0 count, 3-1 count, look middle in, and look to power swing. Let's see if this one goes out here. I think it's going to be off the wall. No, it's going to go out. So yeah, look middle in when you power swing. You can still power swing away, but be smart about it. Get ahead of the count. 2-1, 3-1. Look to power swing and look to get under it a little bit. Now when you're behind the count, I would just use X. I wouldn't power swing. You had a 1-2 count, or anytime you get 2 strikes, I would just look to go up the middle and use the X. So when I'm looking to go opposite field with him, I kind of like to start it a little bit up here, or cheat it towards up and away, and then react. And when I'm looking middle in like this, what I like to do is I like to bring it just a little bit in like here, and then power swing. Just like that. Now from the left side, it's pretty similar. Again, his contact and stuff is still pretty solid. I think it's 77. So I would say have the same approach when you're batting from the left side. But just be smart. Also take into account what field you're playing at. If you're playing at a field like Sportsman's Park or Yankee Stadium or wherever that has a short right field and not necessarily a short left field, maybe look to go opposite field a little bit and try to hit home runs that way. But yeah, guys, these are my tips with Eddie Murray. Overall, he is one of my favorite players, and I think he's one of the most underrated players in this game. He is a 93 overall diamond. I know overalls don't mean everything, but in my opinion, if you're looking at a first baseman and you're looking to play Conquest to obtain a first baseman, you really got to look at 2 players. That's Prince Fielder and Eddie Murray. If you really value the switch hitting and you feel like you're good at tracking the ball and you feel like you're good at power swinging, I'd go with Eddie Murray. I'm going to have a review coming up on Prince Fielder too. They're 2 different players completely, but I really enjoy using Eddie Murray. So if you don't have a first baseman yet, check him out. Try him out, go get him. But anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. This is Cardinal Bird 5 signing out. Peace.